Blast Out Media Studios. Welcome to Combat Misfits. Good evening, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. My name is Dave Miletto, and I'm here with my co-host, Chris Thedick.
What's going on, guys?
What's going on? As well as my producer behind the scenes, Vinny Quinn.
Yo, what's up, guys?
What's going on, man? How are you doing today?
Doing good. I'm getting ready to scout Jake Paul this weekend, and I'm gonna fight him next.
Yes.
So I'm just letting you know.
Sign Vinny up. So we are coming off a stacked UFC 269, and what a pay-per-view it was, Chris.
Yeah, it was good.
I know you are dying and itching at the neck right now to get your thoughts in. So I'm going to start the show right off.
Mm-hmm.
Chris, what happened, brother? What's going on with that upset?
What upset? How is that an upset? I have yet to hear, for casual UFC fans, yes, I guess I could see it was a flu, an upset. But to hardcore fans, man, if you've been following, that's not an upset. It's not. It was proven. I said this for weeks. She's going to lose against Penne. It's a bad matchup for Nunes. Bad matchup. She's going to get worked. No, she was going to get worked. And here she is. Got worked. That's not a surprise. That's why I bet. I bet it on that fight and win. It's proven.
So for all you guys out there, that put that bet in, and look, that was a huge bet because she was a plus 1,000 underdog, which is crazy when you think about it, how overthought that she was. You know, everybody wrote her off without a shot of a chance to even beat Amanda, you know? Like, I know you say this was not an upset, and you went that route, and I applaud you and bow to you for that, sir, because, you know, I was on board the Amanda Nunes train, man, as well as a lot of people out there. So we're live on YouTube. What was your thoughts of UFC 269? What was your thoughts of the pay-per-view? Did you go with Juliana Pena? Did you go with Dustin Poirier? Were your predictions right? Please chime in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you're notified when we go live. And let's just, you know, I'm kind of blown away because, like I said, I went with Amanda Nunes, and boy, was I wrong. But at the same time, I'm so excited about this. It shakes up the division. It really does, Chris.
I don't think it does.
Really? Because Amanda Nunes was so dominant, right?
Uh-huh.
And I understand you went with Juliana Pena, but
easy pick.
But we were both here months and months and months ago before this fight was instilled, and you were on the Amanda Nunes train, brother, as the GOAT. And I feel like she was the GOAT, man. I mean, she was unstoppable. She had literally beaten everybody in that division other than Juliana Pena.
And Kat Zingano.
Kat Zingano, who's retired. So that's
right.
That's irrelevant right now.
So here's the thing, right? Is she the GOAT? I guess. She just can't beat that style of a fighter. Penne resembles Kat Zingano. Penne destroyed Kat Zingano. And it's just a bad matchup for Nunes. It happens. There's one team, there's always something in a sport or any kind of sport that one team can't beat that team, and one fighter can't beat that one fighter, right? So it's the same thing. Nunes just has a bad matchup with Penne. So what I think is going to happen, right, is Nunes is going to fight Kayla for featherweight, defend her featherweight title, which she should, fight Kayla. Penne will defend her title, lose. Nunes will go back for another title shot and destroy that person and get her titles back.
Okay.
That's what I think is going to happen.
I agree with that. You know, Kayla Harrison was at the pay-per-view. She was watching that fight. When Juliana won, Kayla Harrison literally turned her head and didn't want to watch that shit happen.
Right. She wanted Nunes.
But so there's been a lot of that has been said in the past few days, right? It went from basically a lot of people saying that Amanda Nunes didn't look herself. Something was going on behind the scenes Was it the fact that she wasn't focused? Was she overlooking Juliana? Because when you become so dominant in your decision, when you become so dominant, these are just thoughts. This is not, not necessarily
it's
my
a lot
thought.
of spec.
A lot of speculation has been happening, as it normally happens. When a fighter of that magnitude and that amount of domination, when they lose, a lot of people think like, where was her head at? Was she all there? Was she not even really training? Because let's touch back, right? This fight was supposed to happen August 7th. So
right, and she got
COVID.
Uh-huh.
But Juliana had been itching at the neck pretty much, if I can use that analogy, for a while calling for that shot, A long time she believed that she deserved that shot, and she thought Amanda Nunes was just overlooking her and not really giving her the chance. And her chance happened on Saturday, and she succeeded.
It's getting stupid because everyone's like taking the credit away from Juliana.
And that happens, yeah.
Juliana dominated her. And if you think Nunes wasn't training and didn't look herself, she got worked. That's all it was. That's why it doesn't look like, she wasn't the same. It's not the same Nunes. She got worked. That's what happened.
Let me ask you this, right? So on the judges' scorecards, Amanda Nunes won that first round by all three judges, right?
Right.
What happened in that second round,
She
Chris?
got tagged.
Because
she was getting fucked up. No one should ever take credit from Juliana. Juliana stood and banged with her and took her on the ground and beat her ass, which was the recipe. I said that weeks ago and months ago. If Juliana can get out of the first round and take her down, it's over. What happened? Same thing I just said. She got out of the first round. Second round, lit her up and stand up, then took her down and subbed her. I said it was going to happen. It's just proven knowledge that Kat Zingano did the same thing that Juliana did. And the funny thing is, to bring that up, right, is Juliana Penne said the same thing at the press conference. She says, you got worked by Kat. So in my eyes, in my mind, she watched that tape over and over and over to see how she beat her, and she did the same game plan that Kat did to Nunes back to her and worked her again. She just can't beat that style of fighter. That's just what it is. And Juliana was determined and 100% all in. I'm gonna win this title. First round, I was like, she might lose. Then it came out in the second round and started lighting her up. I was like, I got my money.
Yeah.
This is all mine.
Yeah,
Easy.
And applaud it to everybody that did basically take that underdog pick, because it was a huge underdog pick. She was a plus 1,000, which was, I don't know if you know this, but in the upset category, pretty much of all the upsets that happened in the years, with Matt Serra and George St. Pierre, even Matt Serra was a plus 850 underdog to beat George St. Pierre. So that goes to show you how much of an underdog Juliana Penne was. Like, to be a plus 1,000, like, it's crazy. A lot of people overlooked her, and as well as I did, because, I mean, when you know so much, when you see so much, and you see that she's not just beating these, Amanda was not just beating these girls by decision. No, she was butchering them.
Right.
From Ronda. Yes, I know. A lot of people say she was a one-trick pony. Whatever. She beat Holly Holm. She beat Misha Tate. Like, she beat all these women that are no just normal woman's fighter. Like, these were really number one women in the world, and it just blows my mind. But at the same time, like I said, it makes me super excited, Chris, because you said, yeah, okay, maybe it doesn't open the division, but it does, because say she dispatched Juliana Penne, who the freak was next besides Kaylee? But she's not signed yet, so you'd have to think.
But the thing is, with Julia Penne, right, is when she fights someone else, she's probably going to lose.
You don't think she's holding on to that belt?
No, let's not get silly. It's just Julia Penne is a great fighter. I'm not gonna take anything from her. She beat the Nunes, but she's probably gonna lose in her next fight. She's a win-lose kind of a fighter. It's It's just that style of fighter doesn't match up for Nunes. That's all it is. And then if Julia Penne fights anyone else in that division, she's probably going to lose. And then Nunes is probably going to come back for a title shot because she deserves it. And then she's probably going to take it back. That's the only way.
So you think she ain't holding on to that title very long? You don't think she will?
No, you got to grow up.
I mean, Pat says, I'm surprised to see the boss.
Well, he's an idiot. He's an idiot.
Bob's even chiming in. What up, Bob? Nunes looked out classed. She sure did. I mean, let's be real. I mean, you got to.
What up, Brandon?
You got,
Dennis, what's up, Dennis?
What's going on, Dennis? What's going on, man? I appreciate you guys all chiming in. Yeah, I mean, Nunes kind of did look outclassed. I mean,
she didn't belong in there with her.
A lot of people were saying that she just, I don't know, man. She just looked. It looked like she quit, bro.
Well, yeah, she tapped out.
But here's the thing. When you roll back that tape, right, and you go into that second round when she, Juliana Penne took her to the ground and kind of savaged her to the ground pretty much. She didn't have those hooks in, really,
She was crushing her jawline.
So it's like a lot of people came out, right, during the week, the past few days, and they were kind of like, those hooks weren't really in that deep for her to quit. Like, did she verbally quit? Did she just say
she went like this?
I get that, but those hooks were not in deep, man. Those hooks were it wasn't a tight choke. I don't even think she really you have to roll back that tape.
I've seen it.
She really didn't. She didn't have it in too deep. I believe. This is just my opinion.
Nunes is not a ground fighter. She gets on the ground. She's tired. She got scared. The choke was in. She could have made it tighter if she wanted to, and she just tapped. She's, I'm out. I'm all out of gas.
Juliana Penne said herself, she was like, if she didn't quit, I was going to break her neck.
Well, yeah.
So, I mean,
it looked clean. If Penne would have adjusted her arms, right? Because obviously Nunes would have panicked. She would have rolled or whatever she would have done. Penne would have sunk in deeper and got her. The fight was over. She gassed out because she blew her load the first and second round and was getting tagged.
Yeah.
She was done. She had jelly legs. Then Penne took her down and subbed her. What else do you want?
I mean, I don't know. I think she kind of, I don't know. I just think deep down in my heart, I feel like she quit, She may have quit, She basically was like, you could see it in her face when she was getting tagged with those punches, and you seen Amanda Nunes, her soul basically left her damn body.
Yeah, because she was like, holy shit, this chick is messing me up.
I just don't know.
Because that little slick jab she had, she would jab, throw a punch, and her head would tilt, right? A slick jab. Boom. Nunes couldn't hit her. She just kept getting pounded in the face. Her head kept smacking back. So Penne had a great strategy, great jab, and just outworked the GOAT.
So where does that stand? Like, where does she stand now? Does she still have the GOAT status, right? Because, I mean, regardless of this loss, and mostly, every champion has their day,
Oh, same thing could be said with Ronda. Everyone called her the GOAT, right? She ran down the whole division.
Yeah.
And then got worked.
I mean, but hardcore fans saw that Ronda only really had, like,
one dimension, right?
One dimension.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nunes only has one dimension. Why are you calling her the GOAT then?
This is different.
What's different? She's a stand-up fighter, right? Only thing
she has submissions on her record, though. She definitely has
shit. She's dog shit on the ground.
What?
She's dog shit.
Come on, Chris.
Stop, guys. Guys, if you're going to say that Nunes has a good ground game, you don't know what you're talking about.
She doesn't have. She's not a Brazilian jiu-jitsu artist. She's not as much of a submission artist as, say, Juliana Penne, but she has, I have to look it up. I feel like,
dude, I don't give a fuck who has. Ronda has a knockout. What are you gonna say then? She has knockouts.
Yeah, Ronda has knockouts, but she. I just don't think you can't basically say that she's dog shit and she's trash.
On the ground. She's dog shit. She's dog shit. Then why can't she get off her back when she goes down? Why can't she get off her back?
We only saw this from this fight pretty much, right?
We saw it for several fights. She can't get off her back. She survives
Well,
a round.
her last loss was against Kat Zingano, 2014.
No, there's other fights that she's on her back. She still wins, but she's still on her back. She survives the round. She can't get up. She's like a turtle on her back. She can't get up.
I don't know about that, sir.
Do your research.
I don't know.
She can't get up.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, she beat Megan Anderson by a submission in round 1. 2 minutes.
She rocked her and then got on her back and subbed her.
But that's still a submission.
She's
right?
rocked. She can't.
Okay.
I want to see her control a fight on the ground. She takes him down the first minute of the fight and then beats him. She doesn't.
But that's to say she does have, and she submitted Misha Tate. And you know Misha Tate ain't no fucking joke on the ground, bro.
She's terrible on the ground.
Misha Tate?
She's
Do you know how many
dog
submissions
shit.
Misha Tate has?
Dog shit.
Come on, you're calling people dog shit that are one of the
Terrible
number one
on
women's
the
fighters
ground.
in the world.
Terrible.
Misha Tate has more submissions than Amanda Nunes.
Doesn't matter.
She choked out fucking Holly Holm.
With a fluke choke.
Come on, bro. Come on.
Dude, when have I been wrong?
No,
Have I
you're
been
wrong
wrong?
right here, bro.
No,
Amanda,
I have 90% success rate. If you want some secure
you only
bets,
have 90.
boom.
You only have 90% success rate because you're riding high off this underdog.
I'm not wrong.
You're wrong here, bro. Because I'm telling you, Amanda Nunes has a pretty decent ground game. She's not the best.
So you think she's what? She's what?
I never said she was a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu artist. I never said she was, a Sambo wrestler. I never said she was, a phenomenal grappler.
Uh-huh.
But she can hold her own. And she's done it for years. Like I said, she had a 12-win streak. This shit don't come overnight.
Yeah, she beat up stand-up fighters. And then when she fought someone who's good...
She didn't beat up stand-up
She
fighters.
sure did.
This speaks for herself. Misha Tate, Valentino Shevchenko. These are not all strikers.
They're
also
that's
good
their
on the
strong
ground.
point is their striking.
No, but really?
Yes.
Because
Which one of those fighters is best on the ground than stand-up? Which one?
Misha Tate.
That's
Misha Tate doesn't have
that's
the
a
most
lie.
best striking.
Yes, she does.
definitely
She has
does.
good stand-up.
But she has better grappling skills than she does striking.
She does not.
Says who?
Herself.
Where are you getting this knowledge from?
Herself. She says it. She
you're
says she's a
killing-
better boxer.
You're killing me. Pat, I know what you're talking about now. No, but let's be real, bro.
That is being real.
That's
That's
not-
nothing being fake. That's real. Misha Tate says herself, and everyone else has said it who fought her, her stand-up is superior to her ground game. That's facts.
But she's still, you can't say, right, that Amanda Nunes doesn't have any ground game at all. 'Cause
She
that's
doesn't.
bullshit. That's bullshit, bro.
She does.
You're talking out your ass
Then
right
why
now.
does she have more losses every time she hits the ground? If she's good on the ground, she should stop losing on the ground. Why does she have so many losses then on the ground?
She was getting lit up with striking before Juliana Penne had her in
I'm not talking about just
submission.
that. I'm not talking about just that. She got the same treatment from Kat Zingano.
But Kat Zingano never submitted her.
Right, she pounded her out because she was a turtle on her back.
She doesn't have a TK. I'm pretty sure that was a decision, bro.
Nope, knocked her the fuck out because she can't get up.
Yeah, round 3.
Can't get up.
Okay.
She's a turtle. When she's on her back, she can't get up.
You're giving analysis from 7 years ago, bro.
Dude, all her losses have been on the ground.
You're
All her losses have been on the ground.
all her losses have been on the ground. So you're saying
If she got knocked out, it's because she got pounded out. If she tapped out, it's because she was on the ground.
I don't know. All I'm saying, bro, is you can't sit there and say that she isn't the best fighter, that she's dog shit on the ground.
She is.
I don't believe that.
Why not?
I don't believe that. However, she did beat her at her own game. So
Right.
Juliana Penne beat her at her own game. She
Correct.
striked the shit out of her, and
Right.
she basically demolished her that way. And then yes, okay, whatever, sunk in the choke. I don't think that was really a tight choke. I'm going.
She gassed out. She quit.
She didn't even have those hooks under.
She quit.
Verbally. I
She
would say
quit.
she verbally quit.
I saw her hand tap. She's like, I'm done. She gassed out. She
Yeah.
blew her load.
Well, yes, but I don't think. I really don't think that submission was tight. And you
It
have
doesn't
to go
matter
back
if it was
and look
tight
at
or not. It doesn't matter. She
I
quit.
think she basically quit because she was gassed the fuck out.
Exactly.
and
I
she got
agree.
beat.
I won't disagree with you. I won't. I said she quit. It wasn't her night. She was
Yeah.
getting tagged, and she had it on the ground. And I'll bruise my point even more. She got on the ground. She quit. Even she verbally quit. She got on the ground. No, she wasn't getting back up. Why? If you're such a good wrestler, you could have got out of that, correct?
Well, I didn't say she was the best wrestler. I said she can hold her own on the ground.
All right,
I never said she.
Even so, if she can hold her own, right? Why didn't she try to get back up?
She had her fucking match. Every champion has their day, bro. Every champion has their day. There's always people. See, when you become so complacent as a champion, and for that fucking long, you've got hungry people coming up. He said, yeah, Ronda, best on the ground. Absolutely, I agree with you, Chris. That was her one dimension, her armbar. Everybody fucking knew that armbar was coming. Nobody was able to stop it, until Holly Holm kicked the shit out of her face.
Right, but what I'm saying is, right, if you can hold your own on the ground, right? Penne had a weak choke. You quit. Why?
I don't know. There may be several factors.
No,
bro.
it's because she knows she sucks on the ground.
But
she knows she wasn't going to outbeat her.
Let's be real. She was beat before that fucking fight.
No, stop.
You really think she went in there
now
100%
now we're talking about...
I'm not talking about no conspiracy shit. I'm saying she didn't look her best from the get, bro.
Dude, she lit her up in the first minute. You can't say she didn't look her best. She was trying to knock her out. That's what she does every fight.
She wasn't hitting her with no power shots. There was no power shots.
Did you see Juliana's face?
Yeah, but I mean, anybody can be marked up just by
Dude,
punching.
she has a swollen eye.
She didn't take no freaking bomb shots, bro. There's no
What am
way.
I hearing? Yes, she did. She got smoked.
I just don't think. Look, and this is just my fucking opinion. I'm guaranteed my fucking opinion.
Right.
But I feel like she didn't look her best. There was maybe other things, maybe complacency, maybe just over domination. Maybe she took her lightly. I don't know. But you can't take that away from Juliana Penne. I'm not taking her victory away at all. Juliana Penne went in there and did her fucking job. And she was 100% confident from the get, bro.
See, when you're saying that you think she had other stuff on her mind, that's taken away from Juliana Penne.
No.
That it sure does.
It's not, because Juliana Penne went out there and still did her job. And she still was able to get that victory in a substantial way. So there's no reason to take anything away from Juliana Penne. I'm not taking anything away.
But that's contradiction, kind of. Because, if you're saying, Nunes wasn't hungry or she wasn't in the fight, you're taking away.
That was a different Amanda. You have to fucking know that.
No, it wasn't.
There's no way you went in there believing that was the same Amanda Nunes from 12 fights ago.
It's just, like I said previously and earlier in the show, it's the style. The style doesn't match up for Nunes. It doesn't. She can't beat those fighters. She can't.
Everybody that she recently fought was, when you talk about Chris Cyborg, she's a fucking striker,
Correct. And
when
she dominated.
Talk about Megan Anderson, she's a striker.
Dominated.
Right?
Right.
So that's to say, okay, Juliana Penne was a great striker. She went in there and did the strike.
She's not. She's not a good striker.
She fucking lit her up with strikes.
Exactly.
The majority
That's
of the fight.
the game plan. So Nunes is looking forward and probably did her homework saying, Penne's going to try to take my ass to the ground and beat me. I ain't letting it. So the first takedown, right? She stuffed Penne, right? So Penne's like, fuck this. I'm going to outwork you. And started boxing with her. Nunes wasn't ready for that. It showed. Nunes was not ready for Penne to box with her and threw her for a loop. And then when she kept getting tagged and getting woozy and getting jelly legs, Penne took her down and subbed her. That's exactly what happened.
There's no...
You cannot tell me Penne was lucky to fight Nunes at this time of her that day because Nunes took her lightly. Nunes did this. Nunes did that. No, Nunes got outworked. Why can't you say that? But Nunes got fucking dominated.
Nunes got dominated. I will say that. But I just don't know if she was 100% in that fight. There's a lot of things that lead up to...
What? What do you know that no one else knows?
You're the same person, right, that's saying in the next fight that Juliana Penne has, she's going to lose the fucking belt.
Correct.
So that's pretty much taking away this victory as well.
Hell.
Because you're saying that she doesn't stand a shot against any other fighter.
It depends who she fights.
She's got strikers in her feet.
Hold on. If she fights someone at top 10, yeah, she's probably going to win. She fights a top 5 fighter, I think she loses.
Well, she's got rematches that she has in her eyes.
Correct.
And she wants to go back and fight Jermaine Duranime, which she lost to.
She'll probably lose again.
And then she wants to go down and possibly fight Valentino Shevchenko,
I saw that.
which she lost against.
She probably will lose that too.
So I mean, these are strikers as well. Valentino Shevchenko is no fucking joke.
But
as a
it's
striker,
very different. It's not like the same one fighter beats that fighter. They're gonna beat that fighter. It doesn't work that way. It's a fight.
But
Juliette Penne beat Nunes.
Okay.
Because that style works against Nunes. She fights anybody else in the top 5. I strongly believe Penne will lose. No offense to her. I think she'll lose. If she fights Nunes again, I think she beats Nunes again.
Okay, well, it's obvious, right, that Amanda Nunes is going to get. Let me shake my head, Chris. You're tripping. I don't know who that is. Hey, he's proven his point, and I applaud that shit. You know, anybody that's gonna come in here and debate, man, and I may be wrong too. I'm a fucking nobody. You know, I'm not no UFC expert. I come in here with my opinion, and these are all my opinions.
Right.
You know, and I may be wrong sometimes, and I may be wrong right now. Who knows? But at the same time, right? At the same time, you have to think that rematch is coming, right?
Correct.
You have to think that rematch is coming, and it's almost warranted because at the same time, Amanda Nunes has been dominant as long as she has. What happens in that rematch, Chris? You think she beats her again?
I do. I think Nunes just can't beat that style of a fighter.
Because here's the shell shock right now. The bettors right now already have her highly favored to beat Juliana Penne once again.
No, it might be more easy money for me.
All you bettors out there, when that fight comes to fruition, put that money down, man. Because if you missed out this time, next time you guarantee she's probably gonna be a plus 1,000 as well. And it's time to put that bread down because Chris is gonna have a way better Christmas now because of that bet, brother. Best believe it. And
that's the thing, right? Is that people are saying, "Oh, Nunes ain't gonna win." I don't think she's winning that. I think she's gonna get worked again.
But it's obvious, like you said, she has to go up and fight at featherweight. She has to defend that belt if she chooses. I mean, that division's pretty much freaking dead. Except for Kayla Harrison. And let's be real, Kayla Harrison's a 155 pounder, so she's gonna make that cut, bro, to get to 145.
That's an easy cut. That's 10 pounds.
It's an easy cut, but you know she ain't walking around 155.
No, she looked huge at the pay-per-view. She looked like she was like at least
170. She's walking around Conor McGregor weight.
Yeah, she was huge. Good for her. She was huge.
So, I mean, that cut is going to be vicious. But that looks like, in my opinion, they're signing Kayla Harrison. Regardless of what happened over the weekend, Kayla Harrison's coming to UFC.
Yeah, I don't know if this rumor is true or not, but I heard Dana White asked her to come to the event.
Oh, yeah. I believe that. I believe that,
so
yeah.
too.
Because, see, they like I said, everybody wrote Juliana Penne off. They thought Amanda Nunes was going to walk through her and then set this big, super global fight with Kayla Harrison, Amanda Nunes. Kayla Harrison's, 11-0?
Yeah.
I think she's 11-0. And it would have set up a super fight. And you'd have to be freaking just in the closet if you didn't know that would be a huge women's fight and create a lot of revenue.
I think Kayla would be too much for Nunes.
I definitely think.
I think Kayla's just too.
Because she's a good wrestler as well. You bet your ass she's taking her to the ground.
Well, yeah, and she can stand and bang too. Kayla's
she can stand and bang,
beast.
yeah. But she's going for that. She's going to take her down, and she's going to do the same thing that Juliana Penne did. But I believe Kayla Harrison will do it better. I think she'll do it quicker. Kayla Harrison is a Olympic wrestler. Right. Juliana Penne, yes, she's got Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, experience. But at the same time, Kayla Harrison walks around with these freaking Olympic medals. Like, she's like a Kurt Angle for the WWE, or, it's just crazy that's what, in my opinion, I think it'll happen. I think it'll happen at featherweight. I really do. I think that's the fight. If Amanda Nunes doesn't get the rematch right away, mm-hmm. and they make her defend that belt at featherweight,
right?
I think the
thing is that everyone wants to see Kayla get in there because people who are casuals might not have heard of her, but she's coming onto the scenes pretty quick and she's getting a hype train pretty good. I don't think Nunes wants to fight Kayla. I think that's a scary matchup for Nunes. I think Nunes would get worked. I do. I strongly feel like she'll get worked.
I think
Like Kayla's taller. She looks stronger. She's younger. It'd be a scary matchup for Nunes.
But it's like at the same time, it's like, is she going to, it's either she's going to dodge Kayla Harrison, but then what, fight Juliana Penne? They're both bad matchups right now for,
Well, that's what I think. I think what would happen is Nunes might fight Kayla for feather. We'll just say, this is a hypothetical. This is not happening. But if Nunes can fight Kayla, she might lose. And then she'll wait for Penne to fight somebody else, which I feel Penne will lose to someone else, to that next opponent, and then Nunes would fight that person that Juliana Penne lost to and get her title back.
And try and get her title back sneaky.
Right.
It's
I
possible.
think that's her best option.
I mean, but, because like I said, her Juliana Penne's last loss was to Jermaine Duraname, right?
Right.
And then before that loss, it was Valentino Shevchenko.
Mm-hmm.
So those two matchups, like, she could try and get them back,
Right, redeem herself. Yeah, she could, but she might lose that because matchups make fights, right? You've heard that saying before.
Yeah.
Matchups make fights. Sometimes there's bad matchups for certain fighters.
Styles make fights as well.
Right.
Yeah.
So, like I said, Julia Penne beats Nunes. Penne fights someone else, loses. All right. Next topic.
So yeah, that was the main event. For all you bettors out there, the rematch is coming. That you would have to think that. All right. So anyway, Dustin Poirier, very sad story here, man. Very sad story, at least in my eyes. I really wanted Dustin Poirier to win that belt, man, and it didn't look good.
I did too. I wanted Poirier to win, but same old Dustin. He gasses out in the first round.
Yeah.
Wants to strike. You fucked up, and you paid for it. What else to say?
It really shows that who Charles Oliveira is, because everybody writes him off as well, right? So you thought like Charles Oliveira, he was the underdog in that fight, and everybody was writing him
He
off.
was? I didn't say.
Charles
it was a pick 'em.
Oliveira was, yeah.
It was a pick 'em at the end.
Yeah, but
to the main event. It was
no,
a pick 'em.
I really think Charles Oliveira was the underdog.
No, I
Coming
saw
in-
it. It was a pick 'em.
Yeah, but I don't know, because at the same
What?
time,
That's what Vegas says. It's a pick 'em. Vegas goes by the. Yes, it does.
I didn't.
It was a pick 'em.
You may have saw pick 'em, but I saw Charles Oliveira as an underdog. He was a slight underdog. Dustin Poirier was the favorite, at least in the UFC's. They have that betting thing that.
Yes, by Vegas. It was a pick 'em.
I don't know. I didn't see that. Anyway, I believe Charles Oliveira was the underdog, and a lot of people write him off all the time. Even though he has 11 fight win streak, he has the most submissions in the UFC. He has the most finishes in the UFC, and it was almost expected. So you knew, like, when Charles Oliveira got his back, like we were talking about this.
Yeah.
Dustin Poirier goes to the ground, it's over. And it didn't even have to go to the ground. He reached around his freaking back, sunk that choke in, and that was it, man.
Yeah, Dustin was exhausted. It happens. Dustin was exhausted. He gassed out. He even said it. He said, I blew my tank in the first round because we were going shot for shot. My corner told me to stop doing that, pace myself. I didn't listen. I went shot for shot and it got me.
So it's devastating, right? You have to think, what's next for Dustin Poirier?
There's only 2 fights left for him, honestly.
He's talked about going up to welterweight as well.
No, don't do that. I think that's a bad move for him.
You really think
That's
so?
a bad move, yeah.
Because guess who's probably sitting up at welterweight division right now? Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor's 190. You know that motherfucker's not going to 155.
No, he's
again.
probably gonna fight Charles. Let's cut the shit. He's probably gonna
You
fight
think
Charles.
he's fight Charles Oliveira?
Yeah.
I've seen that, right? And Charles Oliveira put out a really, really bold fight and said, "Yo, you want the belt? I'll see you this weekend." And that's impossible, bro.
Well, he changed it recently that he wants to fight Conor really bad.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to fight him because
Everybody.
it's a payday. Everyone knows.
It's red panty night, bro. Let's be real. Everybody talks about
Yeah.
it. It's the big payday.
But on some serious note, he's probably gonna fight Charles. He probably will fight Charles.
He steps that line, he's going to have a lot of people. Justin Gaethje even came out and said, "Yo, bro, if somebody oversteps me, I'm rioting."
Riot then. Go riot.
And Dana even came out and was like, "Look, Justin's next, man. He came out and said it. He was like, Justin's next.
Well, yeah.
Nobody's stepping the line. But like you said, Conor McGregor ain't just nobody.
That's
you know?
right.
He ain't.
So the thing is, right, if he does jump the line, right, Justin Gaethje would love to fight Conor because you get more money.
Yeah.
If he thinks about it as a business instead of just like, I just want to get the title. But if you think about the pay and the opportunity you could have, he'll make a fortune. He probably won't have to fight anymore. So if just say he McGregor fights Charles, right? He jumps the line, he wins. Justin Gaethje gets to fight Conor and get paid, right? Everyone wins at the end of the day. You're getting paid. Everyone's getting paid, no
And
matter
the
if you win or
UFC.
lose. Right? Everyone gets paid. But the thing would be the best bet is Dustin fights Nate Diaz, right? You both coming off a loss, right? Justin just waits to see what happens with Charles. If Charles fights Conor, then he'll wait. I think he should wait. If Conor fights Dustin or Nate Diaz, which should happen, I strongly feel like the trilogy should happen with Nate and Conor.
Yeah.
And Justin Gaethje fights Charles Oliveira. So this is my fight card, right? My fight card would be Charles Oliveira fights Justin Gaethje, right? Diaz and McGregor fight at welterweight to settle that, right? Nick Diaz fights Jorge Masvidal, or Masvidal fights Leon Edwards, which Leon Edwards is probably going to fight Usman for the title. So it would be Nick fights Jorge, right? And you have 3 rivalries, right, on one card. What the fuck? Dude, that would be so much money. Oh, and put this in too. Cody Garbrandt steps back up to weight in the bantamweight and fights Sean O'Malley. What? Talk about a fight card.
Wait, who fights Sean O'Malley?
Cody Garbrandt.
Yeah, that's the possible fight. I mean,
Why not?
We'll get into that fight as well.
Yo, that fight card alone trashed this one that we just passed.
But see,
would trash it.
That's the hard thing, right? When Conor fights, Conor likes being the star, bro.
He can be main event. Who the fuck cares?
I mean, to an extent, because like I said, back in his hungry days, like I said, Amanda Nunes was on that card,
Right.
So I mean, it's possible that fight card, take my freaking money,
Yeah, you can go anywhere. You can go to anywhere you desire with that fight card, and you'll sell out and make millions.
Yeah. I believe it.
dope.
I believe it as well. I mean, but so Dustin Poirier, where's he go, man? Who's in it for him? Because if he goes to welterweight, there's matchups. He's still young, fairly young.
Yeah, but I don't think anybody would be a good matchup for him.
To get back to that title shot at lightweight.
Welterweight would be tough.
Welterweight will be tough. I mean,
I think there's a lot of big cats up there. Like, so if you're like Dustin, man, he used to be lightweight, right?
he used to be featherweight.
Sorry, yeah, thank you. Featherweight. And then he jumped all the way up to lightweight. He goes to welter. That's a lot more weight to put on. And a lot bigger guys.
Yeah.
I think he's best at lightweight. I understand the division's stacked and it's scary, but dude, you got to ride out. You made it to a title. You can make it again, maybe.
He's got Michael Chandler also talking mad shit this weekend about him.
Yeah, I think Michael Chandler would get stoned.
And
I do. I think Michael Chandler gets
That's what
stoned.
needs to happen. Maybe Dustin Poirier gets a fight with Michael Chandler, right? Because Michael Chandler just recently lost to Charles Oliveira as well. So I mean,
he just lost to Justin.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But before that, Charles Oliveira won the belt from as a vacant belt. Back when Khabib retired, he won it off of Michael Chandler. So I mean, that's possible. I don't know how far he would sink down into the division off this loss. I mean,
I think he goes like that.
But he said it in the post-fight interview. He was like, I just don't know. Like, I don't know if I have the hunger to try and get to that title shot again. I don't. Everything this year set him up for a one of the best years, if not the best year, for Dustin Poirier's career. Like I said, he made millions fighting Conor McGregor twice. And then to lose that belt.
Well, he didn't make millions his first fight. He made millions his second fight.
both those fights with Conor, you know he was making freaking millions.
He wasn't. I read an article.
It's red panty night.
Not the first fight. The first fight wasn't before Conor blew up. It was before he blew up.
Well,
he was on the rise.
No, because they fought each other 3 times. They fought each other back in 2014, and that was the same time that he was on the card with Amanda Nunes back in 2014. That's when he lost. That's when Amanda Nunes lost to Kat Zingano back in 2014.
Right, that was before his hype.
So
he
lost that. He wasn't making that. He wasn't making big money then.
Right.
But
Poirier
he fought
lost
him twice this year.
Right, once with the broken foot, the other one with the other one.
Yeah.
I think So I think then he did make.
He's making
twice.
millions. Bro.
No, because I was just thinking, I was like, wait, he didn't fight him twice. Oh yeah, he broke his fucking foot.
He broke his freaking foot in the second fight, so he still made a significant amount of money off of that fight as well. So I mean, it would have been a phenomenal year for Dustin Poirier. It's a shame because I really wanted him to win that belt.
I think everyone wanted him to win. I wanted him to win.
But if it's not going to be Dustin Poirier, I want it to be Justin Gaethje. I really think Justin Gaethje, coming from the PFL, and being, everybody wrote him off because, he came into UFC off of a minor league, that they call PFL, whatever. But the point is I mean, he's a dog, man. I think if he can avoid, the ground game of Charles Oliveira, and many people obviously can't.
Well, I think he'll be all right on the ground.
Yeah, because Justin Gaethje, he's got a pretty good wrestling background as well.
Yeah, I think he'd be all right. I think what would worry Charles is the heavy hands that Justin has. Justin has some heavy hands.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to have to find out. I mean, it's all in due time, But also on the card, I wanted to talk about this because, like you said, Cody Garbrandt lost.
Not shocked. Not surprised.
Not shocked. He goes down to flyweight, and it doesn't benefit him. 125 pounds looks. He wore that
too thin.
He wore that weight well, though.
I thought he looked sick.
He was one of the first people to weigh in, and he didn't have any issues at all. He didn't look so drained when he was weighing in.
Oh, I thought he looked sick. I like you say how you say all the time you have to wait for weigh-ins to see if they look good. He did not look good. I was like, oh, he's losing. He didn't get knocked out. He's going to lose.
I don't know. I mean...
He should go back up.
He has to go back up. It's obvious. He doesn't belong down there.
No.
It's not going to do him well. And like you said, Sean O'Malley's probably the next fight. Sean O'Malley, 100%, is going to be a very big star in the UFC.
Do we know that? I don't even know that now. He has to fight a ranked fighter.
He is now ranked. So after that fight, now he is ranked number 13. So he reached into the rankings, into the top 15.
He needs to fight better fighters. Like, you're fighting all these people who are not ranked. You cannot be...
I think he's doing it on his own inhibition. I think he's...
I think it's Dana, because Dana said something about that. He says, yo, you can't rush these things. You got to pace them into it. I think Sean wants to fight ranked fighters, but Dana White doesn't want to give him a ranked fighter.
Yeah, I mean, because look what happened to Marlon Vieira. They gave him a ranked fighter, and then he lost. So maybe they took him back out, of fighting ranked fighters.
I think we have to just wait and see.
I think that the way to really break into that top 10, give him Cody Garbrandt. Give him Cody Garbrandt. I don't think Cody Garbrandt has a really chin anymore. I think he's taking a lot of abuse.
6 in his last 7 fights. It's not
good. He's not good, but he's still a well-named fighter in the bantamweight division, and it's somebody to make a name off of. Cody Garbrandt's probably on his way out.
I say to test his skill set, he has to fight someone maybe 8, maybe 7. I think that's when you'll test Sean O'Malley.
So what do you think about him fighting Dominic Cruz? Because Dominic Cruz looked phenomenal.
Yeah, but he's
on Saturday night.
Yeah, but he almost got knocked out.
I mean, but it's very hard for a fighter to gauge his awkwardness. Like Dominic Cruz, you have to say he's really good at his own fight game.
Well, the guy, he timed it perfectly. Waited for him to do that jumping around crap, and then tagged him. And then Dominic was like, "Oh fuck,
yeah,
I'm gonna go to sleep soon." I think I would like to see that fight, Sean O'Malley versus Dominic. Because what is Dominic, 9?
I think he's
lower than that.
I think he's 8 or 9. I'd have to check.
Yeah, that would be fine. That's what I'm saying. Make him fight 8 or 9. Sean O'Malley versus Dominic Cruz in bantamweight, Why not? It'd be a great fight.
I think it would be. I mean, it's a way to make Sean O'Malley, a big name, and
It helps.
I think he sold a lot of the younger generation fans. I think he's got a lot of the attention from them, and I think it's a smart move by the UFC to try and maybe in a way slowly reach him up that pinnacle, give him unranked fighters.
I don't think casuals know who Sean O'Malley is.
You don't think people don't know who Sean O'Malley is,
No.
this weird guy with all this
I
dyed
don't.
hair?
I don't think so. I think if you talk to a casual who says, yeah, I watch UFC from here in time to time, I don't think they know who he is.
I don't know. We would have to
No,
find out.
if you talk about like a pro or anything, like someone who's a hardcore fan, I think they'll know who he is. If you talk to a nobody, they ain't gonna know who he is.
Yeah, obviously, if somebody's not watching UFC, they're
Well,
not
no,
gonna
that's
know.
what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Like a
they're not.
casual.
Yeah.
Like you talk to anyone who's a casual, they're not gonna know who Sean O'Malley
Well,
is.
that's
They're
the
like,
same.
I don't know
That's
who
the
he
same
is.
with any fighter, except for Conor McGregor. So if any
yeah.
fighter, you were like, hey, do you know who Kamaru Usman is? No, I don't know that. Do you know who Francis Ngannou is? No, he's the world heavyweight champion of the. He's the heavyweight champion of the world. Like,
No, I get it.
but anyway, I mean, so that was the card. We've got a few minutes left. I really want to touch base on this Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley fight because it's coming up this weekend, this Saturday, as well as Derek Lewis is fighting in the UFC. So we've got a UFC card on Saturday, as well as the Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley.
No, actually, what Zep just says, people know who Sean O'Malley is because he hangs with Jake Paul. I actually agree with
Yes,
He
yes,
does.
that is
Alright.
true.
I take that
That
back.
is true.
I
I
take that
agree
back.
with that. Yes. So I mean,
that. Speaking of Jake Paul,
speaking of Jake Paul, he fights this weekend against Tyron Woodley. And we were kind of touching base on this last Wednesday, but now the fight is here.
for this week,
And it is coming up officially 1 week before Christmas. What can you say about this one, Chris? Who you got, bro? Who you got? You think
I don't know. I don't know who I have. I would love Tyron Woodley to win, but I don't know. I just think old man Woodley is going to take another fat L by Jake Paul and ruin his career.
You've been saying this, right? So you think, with a loss from Jake Paul, you think it ruins his whole career.
It sure does.
Two-time welterweight champion in the UFC.
Almost means nothing.
And you don't think it will mean nothing after this fight?
No, you lost to someone who, who fought for 3 years of his life, and he beat you twice. You're a welterweight champion. Beat you twice. It ruins your whole career. It ruins you.
I mean,
You can't lose to something like that.
Where do you think this fight would be, say Tyron Woodley was in his prime? So if Tyron Woodley was in his prime, fighting Jake Paul with a 4-0 record, who do you think would win? Theoretically.
It's the same thing.
You think Tyron Woodley, as the welterweight champion of the world, when he was fighting Robbie Lawler, when he was fighting Carlos Condit, like when he was fighting the dogs of the UFC,
Same shit.
you think he would lose to a guy like Jake Paul?
You shouldn't have lose at all. You have more experience, more time, and more training than ever when you're at this age. You should not be losing.
Okay, so what?
Doesn't matter about prime or
What
not prime.
happens if Tyron Woodley does a phenomenal knockout and
did your job.
puts Jake Paul's on?
It should have happened last fight. Should have happened in your first fight. Shouldn't take you 2 tries to
Well,
beat
that
someone.
was his first time in boxing. So
It
let's be
doesn't
real.
matter.
The dude's never boxed. Like I
Neither
tell you,
has Jake Paul. So you're
but
both
he
in the
at
same
least
standing
he's been
level.
training boxing.
So has Woodley.
Boxing stance is different than MMA stance.
So has
They
Woodley.
stand different.
No, bro.
They're all about
Woodley
the
has
jab.
been a boxer before mixed martial arts. People do not know that, but he was a boxer before he went mixed martial arts. So you're in the same category, same standards as Jake Paul. There's nothing different. This should have never have happened. You should never have lost. You shouldn't.
Okay.
You lost.
I respect that.
Woodley was a golden glove boxer. And that's what he was yelling at his trainer before. I was a golden glove. He said, yeah, so was I.
Okay.
So you're a boxer. You still lost.
But isn't that kind of like amateur? It's like amateurish.
no.
boxing.
What? No. That's
He
pro.
was never professional boxer.
No,
He has
it's
an
like golden
0-1
gloves is
record.
like a legit thing.
Yeah,
That's
but he has-
impressive.
He has an 0-1 record. So I mean,
Well, yeah, but he's still
it's
a golden glove. That's impressive to get a Golden Glove. It's hard to get a Golden Glove.
Yeah, I don't know. So anyway, you think Jake Paul wins, Tyron Woodley's trash, right?
Trash.
He's gone. His whole record is completely
Diminished.
What do you think about this Darren Williams versus Frank Gore fight? What do you think about this?
I'm actually pretty excited about that.
I'm actually pretty excited. So we've got an NBA star versus a former NFL football player, and they're both kind of retired, right?
They both are retired.
They both are retired. I think they're what, in their 40s?
Probably.
I think they're what do you think about that fight? Who wins? If you had the theory,
If I had to put money down, I'd say Frank Gore.
you think Frank Gore?
Yeah.
Because what?
Football is more physical, in my opinion, and I think Frank Gore's been in a fist fight before. Like, I understand people fight on the courts and stuff in basketball, but man, I really like Frank Gore, man. I think Frank Gore's got this.
I feel like from what I read, Darren Williams has been training boxing for a very long time.
I'm sure. I'm pretty sure Frank Gore has too.
So you think Frank Gore takes the victory? I
do.
mean,
I think he might. I think it's gonna be a decision. I don't think it's gonna be a knockout for either way. But if I had to lean towards a knockout, I would say Frank Gore probably knocks out Williams.
whoa. I mean, it is only a 4-round bout.
Ain't long.
It ain't long. It's not going to be long. It's going to be heavyweight. It's going to be in the heavyweight.
Well, they're big boys.
They're big boys. Yeah. So,
Frank Gore, I think he's. I don't know how tall he is, but I think he's 5'9".
Oh.
But he's like stocky as shit.
I mean, so we're gonna have to find out about that fight. That fight is.
I'm not sure about his height. I'm just throwing it out. I think he's 5'9".
And then we've got Amanda Serrano.
Oh shit! Yeah.
You have to show Dave my fight.
Yeah,
oh!
he had a fight over the weekend. Yeah.
Oh, how could you not tell me about that?
I thought I did tell you that. But yeah, he had a fight over the weekend.
I will definitely be watching that. Yeah, I appreciate it, Zap. Yeah, I want to see. Did you win? Did you at least win? Can you give me any spoilers?
You gotta watch the fight. No spoilers.
How you gonna do that to me? All right. Well, so on the also on the card we have Amanda Serrano, who's 40-1, and I think she's fighting a female with a 14 and something record. I think it's 14. I think she's 14-1. I think. But Amanda Serrano it has been known to be one of the best women's boxers, other than Clarissa Shields, who's a phenomenal boxer as well. I think Amanda Serrano is going to dispatch this girl very quick.
Oh, probably. Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Also on the card we have Chris Avila, who trains with Nick and Nate Diaz. They're on the undercard. He's fighting Anthony Taylor, who just recently fought Tommy Fury on the previous Jake Paul card. So, I mean, we'll see what happens with that. It's kind of like an MMA fight versus an MMA fight on boxing card. So, I mean...
Well, yeah. I'm okay with it.
We'll see where that goes.
Let's see the fist fly.
So, we're getting towards the end of the show. For all you guys that are going to watch the Jake Paul fight this weekend, good luck. It is $60, and I will not be paying for that. As much as I fight, a hardcore fight fan I'm probably going to find a stream, let's be real. But, or go to a bar. I don't even know if bars are really going to show it. They didn't show the Jake Paul fight last.
Well, because it's on Showtime, they might. You never know. On Showtime, they might.
They may. I mean, but the last Jake Paul fight, I called up Miller's, and they were like, no, we're not showing that. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, that's weird. But, I mean...
because there was a UFC fight on that day.
Yeah, and there's also a UFC fight on this weekend because we got...
Yeah, but the other one was pay-per-view, so was the Jake Paul fight. They're both pay-per-views.
What?
The last fights.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
No.
yeah,
Did Jake Paul really go up against the UFC pay-per-view?
Yeah, it did.
I'd have to check that out. But anyway, we got Derek Lewis versus Chris Daukaus. That's going to be going up against the Jake Paul fight.
Yep.
Chris Daukaus is a Philadelphia-owned fighter. And Derek Lewis is coming off his last loss against Cyril Gane. Mm-hmm. So the heavyweight title will be decided in January when Francis Ngannou, unifies the belt against Cyril Gane, who's the interim heavyweight champion.
Yep.
So that's a fight to look forward to. Luckily, the UFC is going to be going a little earlier than the Jake Paul fight. So I think the main card of the UFC starts at 7 p.m., where Jake Paul's fight card starts at 9 p.m.
Yeah.
Eastern time. This is all Eastern time because we are Eastern time here. So we're to the end of the show. Chris, any ending thoughts?
No. I mean, I just want to say thanks for everyone who comments and shares our stuff and gives us feedback and talk to us throughout our days and stuff, man. It's really nice to see everyone jumping in on the conversations when they can.
Yeah, I appreciate all the feedback today. You know, I know everybody is hyped from the pay-per-view, you know, so we're going to get it while it's hot. So for all you guys that have been watching, I appreciate it. Go like my Devereaux Sports family. We've got the Gobbler Inc., who are live on Sundays. We've got the Breakfast and Body Slams, who are live on Thursdays and Sundays as well. And then we have the Sullivan Squad, who are live on Mondays. And then we have the Old School Show
On Tuesdays.
that's live on Tuesdays. I think they're kind of like on a hiatus right now, sort of. I mean, I think they're going to be live in studio this week, this upcoming Tuesday. But go watch a lot of our content that we have on the Devereaux Sports family. I give a lot of love to them. They're great people, and they do their shows out of this studio as well. I'd like to give a thank you to Vinny Quinn for producing and being here. For all you guys, we will be here back in the studio Wednesday, 6 p.m. We will be talking about the Jake Paul fight and the Tyron Woodley fight. And then, Christmas comes next weekend, so there will be no fights. There will be no fights. It is time to relax, enjoy your time with the family. But we will be here Wednesday, 6 p.m. For all you guys watching, thank you. Have a good night. Subscribe to our YouTube page. Thank you so much.